Everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with another tabletop video review. Today we're taking a look at the Umarex Beretta Model 92 FS. This is a spring clear airsoft pistol. And again, this is the tabletop review. I haven't really shot it officially. I played around with it a little bit. It works pretty good. I mean, obviously you got to rack that slide back before you shoot it. It's a true single action trigger, so it's not a bad trigger. It's not going to be that fastest velocity pistol out there, sort of in the mid 200s. When I shot a few rounds through it, it seemed to get most of them in the same ballpark on the target. A couple winged here and there, but we'll find out again when I do that field test shooting video for you guys down the road, so stay posted for that one. If you're interested in a product like this, then check out our replicaairguns.ca website for our Canadian store. We also have Umarex products over on the US store over at replicaairguns.us. I'll put a link in the description to buy this if you're interested. Let's get right into some of the specifications. This is a mostly clear plastic design with some internal parts being metal. It is Beretta licensed through Umarex, which is nice, although it's not a black gun, so I'm not sure how important having the licensing on it for realism really is, but it is nice to have Beretta licensing. It is spring powered. It is a single shot, single action pistol, so again, you're going to have to pull back that slide for each shot. It shoots 6mm plastic airsoft BBs and has a smooth bore 5-inch metal internal barrel, one of the few metal parts, I guess. It has a 12-shot dropout weighted magazine, so there's a weight in it. Another place where they added metal was in that magazine just to give the gun a little bit more weight, and that weight is around 5 pounds or 227 grams. Now the trigger is single action only, so you cannot shoot it in double action. If you decock it, you will not be able to shoot it until you cock it with your thumb or pull the slide back. The claimed FPS is 260 FPS, and it does have a fixed red dot front post sight with a notch rear sight, which is clear and no markings on it. So it's a little bit strange trying to line things up when the gun is basically clear plastic, but it's doable. It does have a safety on the frame portion of this gun. On the slide, you kind of have that molded in safety, but it's not really an actual safety, even though there's that red dot there that looks like it's part of the safety. This is non-functioning. I'll show you that actual safety when I have a look around this gun for you guys. And this product is made in Taiwan, and it comes in this beautiful clamshell casing here. We'll put it sideways because I can't get it all in. So you can see here, we have some information there, right? Velocity, spring powered, metal, what does it say? Metal barrel, 12 rounds, drop free magazine, 6mm airsoft, Model 92 FS, spring airsoft. What else is on the back? So a lot of the same stuff on the back right up there, okay? Some little diagram information there for you guys. You know, it's a clamshell. What do you expect for something like this? It's like a $60 gun, something like that. I have to double check on the website, but it's not an expensive gun. I keep kicking my stand. That's why this kind of keeps changing on you guys. Sorry about that. It happens when you're trying to make these videos. All right, let's take a quick look around this gun. I do want to show you kind of how to load it because it's a little finicky in loading and I want to make sure you understand. I kind of fumbled with it for a bit until I figured it out. Once you figure it out, it's not a big deal. But if you get it wrong, you're going to get a little frustrated while you're trying to learn how to load it up. But you can see we have this red tip here. It probably comes off. I haven't tried. You've got the red dot. So I guess it's orange, just like my watch. Orange, but people call it red. And then you have the red dot here on the front post. You can see the gun's all clear. You've got Beretta licensing. It's kind of neat though. You can see how the internal parts work. So if you're interested in the mechanics of guns, this is neat because you can see everything. I'm not sure if it has a built-in hop up. It doesn't say anywhere on the package. I wouldn't be surprised if it does have a fixed hop up. You can see that spring piston inside. There's the spring. Again, here is the safety, which is non-functioning. Kind of looks like it is because it's got the red painted on there. You've got basically a slide catch release that doesn't do anything. You have this takedown lever, which again doesn't do anything. You do have a trigger that does something. So again, pull that back. No double action, only single action. Got to cock it like that. And then you see the springs cocked. And then the spring releases. It's kind of neat because you can see it all working. Normally you can't, so that's kind of cool. The only black parts, again, are going to be some of the mechanical parts here, like the safety, slide catch release, tear down lever. You do have black grips that are also licensed and textured. It's kind of the part. It does the part of what you would normally see in a real gun here. You've got your safety, so that trigger doesn't work at all when the safety's on, right? It doesn't function. It's just locked, basically. What else can I show you here? right? Oh, let's show you the magazine. So there's your magazine release. So here's that weight I was talking about. They put some metal in there, right? Just to give it a little weight, make the whole gun a little bit heavier. Now, when you load it up, what you can do, let me see if I can see what I'm doing here, is you can pull this back, and then that allows you to get BBs in a little bit easier. So while you're loading it, and the other thing you're gonna have to do, what I found, is I don't have any fingernails. So this basically follower, I just put a pencil in here and get it down there. So once that follower is all the way at the bottom, pull that back, load it up, put your thumb on top so that when you release the follower, like this, where is it here? There it is. So when you release the follower, it doesn't shoot out any, it'll usually shoot out at least one BB until this thing catches it. So keep your finger like over the top, okay? And that's gotta be open like in that position too, otherwise it's not gonna stay. Now once it's loaded up with 12 BBs, put it in carefully. Do not hit this or this, yeah, just especially that. Do not hit this guy, otherwise they'll all come out. So be careful you don't like go like that. See, like what you don't want to do is when you're putting it in is go like that, or they're all shoot out and go in there. That happened to me once. So make sure you're careful. And then just before you get it in, give it a good whack. Because if you do it too slow, they all come out, or at least a whole bunch of them are going to come out. So again, pull the follower down, pull this back, load up your 12 BBs, release that, and then release the follower with your finger, kind of just so that they don't come out. Make sure you don't touch anything along the way. When you get close to the top, give it a whack, okay? That's what worked for me. And once you do it that way, you'll be fine. You'll be able to load it up real quick, okay? So there you go. I didn't really show you that rear sight, but there's the rear sight. You can see what I'm talking about. It's a little hard to line things up because it's clear, right? You don't really see it too well. I'm sure in darker backgrounds it might be a little difficult, but it's not too bad. You do have a recessed barrel, by the way, as well. So it's an okay gun. It shoots pretty good. It's inexpensive to shoot. You don't need any CO2. You don't have to worry about temperature because it's a spring piston, so CO2 is not going to cool down or make the gun shoot slower or anything like that. It's not going to freeze up. I did want to really just quickly compare it to something else. It's kind of nice to do. So in terms of size, you're going to see it really is, proportionally the same size as a metal Beretta. It's similarly designed here. This is basically this is an ASG product. It's the X9 Classic. It's a full blowback gun, right? I'm not sure if it has CO2, so I'm going to be careful here. Could have CO2 in it. No, okay, it doesn't have CO2, but full blowback gun. This one's going to cycle properly. It's going to be single action and double action. A lot more weight. This is like over 2 pounds, all metal pretty much. So very different beast. But again, this is probably closer to a $200 gun. This is about a quarter the cost and cheaper to shoot technically because you don't have to worry about CO2. But I did want to compare it to another Beretta gun in the same class. All right, let's get into some of the pros and the cons. It's a fairly low cost gun and it comes with 500 Airsoft BBs. Oh, I didn't show you that, did I? Okay, so what's in the clamshell? I usually show you this stuff when it's in the clamshell. So one nice thing is it comes with 500 BBs. It doesn't say what they are, so I'm going to assume they're like a 0.15 or 0.12 gram BB. It doesn't say. It feels like they're sort of okay. They're not super lightweight, but again, I don't know because it doesn't say. So let's assume it's a 0.12 gram Airsoft BB. Being that it's such a lower velocity gun, they're going to want to probably give you a lower weight BB, okay? But there's 500 in here, and it's going to take you a while to get through these because you got to cycle that slide 500 times for each shot. So nice that it comes with that, and it also is easy to load. You can just dump them in there real easy. You do get the manual. Now I'm not going to open it up. It's just a basic manual. It's going to have some information about loading it and all that kind of stuff. You see here, it's the black version on here, so there is a black version, I'm sure, available somewhere in this world. We just don't have it here. We have the clear version. Again, let's get into these pros and the cons like I was talking about. It does come with that 500 Airsoft tub of BBs, and it does get you shooting right away because you don't need CO2 or anything else. It does come with a full-size weighted magazine, not metal, but it does have a piece of metal, a chunk in there to give the gun a little more overall weight and the magazine a bit more weight. All the parts feel pretty tight, doesn't feel too cheap, looks kind of cheap, but it doesn't feel too cheap when you're shooting it. There's some metal parts in there where they need to be, like the barrel, the spring, the weight in the magazine, all that kind of stuff. It does have a little red dot on the front sight there. It's not a red dot sight, technically, but there's a red dot there to help you line things up. Again, no CO2 required, just your Airsoft BBs. It does have that Beretta licensing via Umarex, which I'm not sure is all that important being that it's a clear gun. We're not going for realism here. Now the slide is operational. It doesn't have blowback or anything like that, but the slide does move because you need it to move in order to cock the internal spring piston. And the hammer is actually operational as well. Sometimes these guns have an internal hammer and that external hammer just kind of flops around, doesn't do anything. In this case, it actually works. I feel it makes a pretty good beginner pistol for someone getting into the hobby that may not want a gun that looks too super realistic. You know, sometimes parents are concerned if it's too realistic, the child might do something silly with it and get in trouble. We've all seen those horror stories out there of kids waving around guns and the police don't know if it's real or not. So this kind of eliminates that option. All right, a few cons. It is on the lighter weight side, being about a half a pound. It does have a red tip, but again, we're not going for realism with this guy. So I think the red tip is actually maybe a pro. Obviously, being a clear gun, it does take away from the realism. And as I showed you, that loading can be just a little bit finicky, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be just fine, and loading it up is not a problem. All right, again, this product is listed in our Canada and our US online replica airgun stores over at replicaairguns.ca for Canada and replicaairguns.us for the US. I'll put links in the description so you can find it easily. Also, check out our website over at replicaairguns.com, where I'll put a written post along with additional photos for you to see. If you're interested in other products, air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories, then check out replicaairguns.ca for Canada and replicaairguns.us for the US. All right, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, take care.